Hi, welcome to the Author Your Brand series about how to create your book, get it marketed, and get noticed. This first module is not about your book per se, it's about your passion, your purpose, and how to convey a message that's going to get people excited about what you have to say. Let's get started. Define yourself. Ignite your readers with passion and purpose. What the heck does that mean? We're talking about writing your book, not this stuff. Yeah, actually we are. Because if you don't create passion and purpose inside your book, it's going to fall flat. Your book has the very, very big risk of being boring. So we're going to talk about you and your passion, your purpose for a few minutes here in this module in order to create a book that people want to not just read but share with others. And I think that's pretty important. So let's first talk about you for a minute. Who are you? What do you stand for? What ignites your passion? What gets you going? What makes you excited during the day or early in the morning or at night? And then, of course, we're going to find out why should anyone care about that? Because as you know, most people care about themselves more than anything else. We think about ourselves more than anyone else. That's just the way our survival mechanisms are designed. So in order to connect your readers with you, we're going to talk about your favorite topic right now, which is you. So what's your passion? What gets you going? What consumes you? And once you identify that, drill down as to why that happens. What is it about your passion that got you going? Was it an influence when you were a child? Of course you're passionate about your family and some things like that. That's a given. I'm talking about the other thing. Yeah, the big question. Why am I here? What's my purpose in life type of stuff. But it's true. You can always change it, so don't worry about that because a lot of people stress out on that. But what is it about that you have to get out there to tell people? What is it and why? Are you passionate about sports? Are you perhaps a coach for your high school, your kid's high school team? Why is that important for you? It's not just to win games. You're building character in young people. That character will carry on in their adult life. Those kids will go on to build our societies. Now that might sound sort of wishy-washy or lofty, but it doesn't change the fact that it's true. So identify your passion. Identify why it consumes you. What was it about it in your past that makes it important to you? That way you can connect it to how it can serve the world and serve your community and society, your readership, your people follow you in a more authentic way, in a way that they'll resonate with what excites them. Speaking of them, who are they? A lot of people look at list building as a generic, how many names in your list and what's their demographic, or people use the term psychographic. What are they thinking about? Where do they shop? Where do they live? That's great. But there's a much cleaner and much more authentic way to do that Frank Kern talked about in one of his earlier programs that I'm going to relate to you now. And that is identifying not a tribe necessarily. We're going to talk about tribes in the last module. I want to talk to you about one person, a single individual who represents your ideal candidate to read your book. Because when you write a book, and when you get a book written for you, it's not read in a group format, folks. People read these things one at a time. So you're going to be speaking to one person, marketing to one person, and carry on conversations and empowering and getting one person to take action. To that end, your actions now to create that must be really super clear. So I want you to identify that individual candidate not only by what they do, where they live, but as specific as the clothes they wear, their hair color, where they went to school, as much detail as you could possibly imagine. Matter of fact, we've got a PDF on our program here. Please download that and fill it out. That does not mean that you're only going to be focusing on blonde hair, blue-eyed women. You might also want to have some brunettes in there. The point is, focusing on one will make it much easier for you to get your book written, your marketing launched, and a campaign that's engaging when you focus on an individual as opposed to a group. Then you ask yourself the question, you got that person all clear in your mind, what do they want? What keeps them up at night? All right, because if you're passionate about something and they are also, that's a great connection, but that means they're already engaging with somebody else to get solutions to their problems perhaps. They've got pain. They've got passions in their life. The more clearly you define your readers' passions and even their pains, the easier it will be for you to craft a beautiful message to get to their hearts and get your message connecting with theirs. So understand that the next part of your assignment here is to actually write down, after you've clearly identified your individual person, find out what keeps them up at night, what's their biggest pain, and what is their passion. Write those things down. It's going to be in your marketing plan. If you don't write them down, you're not clear in your writing and your editing and your marketing, it'll show basically. So be very, very clear about your audience's pain and passion. All right, let's talk about the features of your book. And even though you might not have the exact outline set up yet, you might not even know the theme. Thinking a step ahead or 10 steps ahead, let's talk about what are the features of your book. Not the benefits yet, but what things are you going to have in there to help your reader solve their problem. For example, are you going to put in there more than just words? Are you going to have a checklist? Or will there be a blueprint to your methodology or your success principles? Will you have an app built revolving around the book? Will you have some classes, coaching, upsells, other products, other things that you're going to be moving through the foundation of your book's content? In other words, let's be really upfront and honest and serious about this. Most authors don't make money with their book. You're not J.K. Rowling. It's not a fictional story. It's a nonfiction book most likely, and most nonfiction authors don't sell more than a couple hundred books. Now, you probably will sell more than that using some of the training we're going to provide, but even if you only sold 500 books and you picked up 10 new clients from that, will that be a success for you? If those 10 clients each refer you, or let's say half of them only refer you to 10 more, will that be a success for you? That's what you got to determine when you take a look at your book in terms of the features. What kind of things is your book going to do for you, and how is it going to do for you through your customers' engagement with that book? Next, we'll talk about the actual benefits. Now, the benefits are what's really important in terms of your content. It's really important to discuss what you can reasonably do with a monologue. This is not a dialogue. A book is a monologue. You're going to be putting words, having a writer and journalist put words in a book for you, and those words are going to stir people to specific outcomes. Do not overhype your book. A lot of people get really caught up in the titles, I Can Make Your Life Perfect, or, the 7 Secrets to Success. That's it. Read these things. They're secrets. Nobody knows about them until you saw this book. So make sure that you minimize the hype and focus on reasonable outcomes. Now, that does not mean you're going to, perhaps pick a clever title and have some good headings in your table of contents, but the actual meat of your book, let's also focus on specific benefits that you can actually deliver. The more specific you are, it might feel a little counterintuitive if you're focusing on, blonde-haired, blue-eyed college students in the northeast part of the country, but understand that there's a lot of potential with any market niche you zero in and target. So the more specific you are with benefits, the better it will be for your reader because you'll be speaking directly to them. And the benefit you provide based on your research will be something they actually are interested in and will take the action, which is the most important part. After they see a specific benefit, they say, oh, wow, I want this benefit. What can I do to actually get it? Can I get it out of just the book? Or will my solution actually go beyond the book, which I hope it does? When you think about your benefit and start outlining that in your homework, think about how you can make your solution easier, make it perhaps faster, cheaper, or even better than your competition. I've run across a lot of authors and entrepreneurs who say, I don't have any competition. Nobody does what I do. And I'm sorry, that's not true. There's competition in every industry. Now, if you have a very unique product, your competition might be apathy or some outdated methodology, but you do have other people out there who are attacking the same problem that your readership has. So your benefit has to be better, cheaper, faster, easier, or some combination of those 4 things. Write down specific outcomes that outline how your solution accomplishes one of those 4 things, or all 4, or some combination. What do you want your reader to actually do? Now, a lot of people, when I discuss their book with them, I want to bring awareness. I want to save a life. I want to, they have some very, very ethereal, very generic outcomes for the reader. Those are good. I want people to bring awareness and start a movement and have people laugh or cry or do things like that, but you can't measure that, nor can you even know if it's even happening with your book. There are plenty of authors who are no longer with us who will continue to influence the planet. So hopefully your book will do that, but let's focus on the here and now. I want you to write down in your homework specific outcomes that you want your reader to take. Not think, not feel, but do. So is it subscribing to a membership site? Are you going to have a membership site? Is it to provide a feedback, some reviews for your Kindle version of your book? Do you want people to evangelize your mission, to share the message, your mission and your passion with others? Or do you want to just sell more of your others things, sell more stuff? Do you want to use your book as a platform to sell an insurance policy, to sell your speaking, to sell your other products, services, whatever it is? If that's a very good thing to do, by the way, because it does separate you from your competitions who are not authors. So whatever your actions that you want your readers to take, write them down. Be very clear about that, because when we get to the journalist and content creation part of your book, we're going to want to give these items to your writer so they can embed some commands, perhaps even some NLP commands, into your book's prose, so that people will be compelled to take those actions. Finally, let's talk about structuring and testing. Once you've outlined what you want your book to be about, what actions you want people to take, the specific features and benefits, I want you to start talking to your readers. But Doug, I don't have a book yet. That's okay. There are people who are already born who have not read your book, but they're already out there, and they need to hear from you. They need to engage with you. So if you haven't started a blog, obviously start a blog, right away. If you have one set up, start blogging on a consistent basis. You can blog every once in a while, or store up 5 or 6 at a time, then sequence them out one a day or every other day. That's fine. But get on the internet. Start engaging with your customers and your readers right away. Start a Facebook group. Those are free, very easy to set up. There's a module for that in our training. Ask for help. Talk to other people who are your peers or have more success than you as an author, as a speaker, as an entrepreneur. Ask them for help on how to get this thing started for yourself. And of course, if you want to get started right away and reduce a lot of the work involved, we have an upgraded version of this membership, and you'll get a 73-point checklist for building a self-sustaining tribe, plus a whole lot more that will cut out about 80% of the work involved with building your tribe and creating your book. This is Module 1, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next module.